Yes.
Well, hey there, ma'am. I'm just here to make sure that you're gonna cast your vote for Jimmelson for sheriff this Tuesday. Just making sure if you're there, we'll see you at the polls if you're doing that. But if you ain't, then don't you show up.
Jimmelson.
That's who to cast your vote for now.
What day?
Well, on Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay.
We should probably be saying Tuesday, but we say Tuesday. Tuesday.
What if I don't vote Jimmelson?
We're gonna kick your ass at the polls, probably. Just maybe shoot you. I don't know. Just if you're gonna show up, you better be putting Jimmelson down on that ballot. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right. You have a good rest of your day, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Pappy?
Well,
I'm making sure. I'm just walking through the neighborhood, making sure everybody's showing up on Tuesday to vote. But if you're gonna show up, it's for Jimmelson for sheriff, right?
Well, I got to vote on Tuesday.
You got to vote on Tuesday, and you better put Jimmelson down.
Oh, all right. I suppose I will.
It's not supposed. There's no supposition here, sir. You show up and you write that down, or else things will happen.
Oh, all right. I get it. I understand.
All right. Who you voting for sheriff for?
Jimmelson.
You damn right. Thank you, sir. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye now.
All right. Take care.
Hello?
Hello? I'm sorry, who are you?
Can I help you?
Well, I was here to talk to Mabel. Is she, I'm sorry, sir, who are you?
I'm Mabel's husband, Buford Brimley.
Well, I'll be damned. Mabel Brimley's married?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Well, can I talk to Mabel real quick?
You can talk to me.
Well, all right.
Get to the point, son.
Sir, I'm an officer of the law.
Yeah? And I'm a soldier with the American Army. I just got back from 2 tours in the Pacific. What can I help you with?
I'm coming through the neighborhood to make sure everybody's showing up to the polls on Tuesday for voting. And I'm making sure everybody's writing in Jimmelson for sheriff.
Excuse me?
Jimmelson for sheriff is the name you need to write down on your ballot.
I'm pretty sure I will write down whatever the goddamn hell I please.
I would have to suggest, sir, that you don't show up if you ain't gonna write Jimmelson down.
Oh, I'm
an officer of the law.
Yeah,
and
you're about to be an officer and getting your fucking ass kicked.
Sir,
hey, how about come here, motherfucker? Sir, I didn't serve 2 tours in the Pacific.
I didn't go.
Come down here, you fascist piece of shit. You don't tell me how to vote in my own goddamn country. I swear to God, go on, get.
Oh, God damn. I couldn't get in.
Go on, get now. Don't you never come back.
I had a busted knee.
If I see you in those polls, I'll shoot you.
Jimmelson, help me.
Jimmelson can suck my ass.
Oh, goddamn. I think my shin splits are re-aggravated. That's why I couldn't get in the first place. Welcome back, my kittens, to Delete Everything Podcast, our band of heroes coming home to find that a group of weak-ass bitches has taken over and is hoarding all of the lost, forgotten, omitted, and deleted history from the citizenry. So we are about to arm up and restore things back to normal. I am First Lieutenant Patrick Wall, and with me, as always, Private First Class
Riley Bowen, presented for duty, sir. Reporting. Fuck. Shit. God damn, everything was so clean up until then.
In this week's episode, we're talking about what happens when a political machine tries to sabotage people's right to vote while our boys are off fighting and dying for our freedom, in an episode that does not at all mirror or seem prescient in any way, shape, or form to anything currently happening anywhere at all in the world.
My character there, Riley Bowen, was supposed to be like a Royal Marine that was like now stateside. Like he's like
just a bumbling,
like an expat from like, you know, like World War I or something. That's like, but now he's like living in like Appalachia or something.
Oh my God.
But he's like, you know, by himself.
It's funny you mentioned Appalachia because that's where we're going today.
He's still wearing like the beret, you know?
Yeah.
You know what he is? He's like the fucking, there's this rabbit in the Redwall series. It doesn't matter. Keep going. Okay.
Before we jump into our episode, thank you to anyone and everyone who took the time to leave us a rating on their respective streaming platform, particularly Apple Podcast ratings and reviews. Those reviews are very important to us, regardless of what you say. As long as they come with a 5-star review, you can tell us about your grandma if you like. Also, Spotify comments. You can leave a comment on each individual episode. Those are super important to us as well. And they've kind of fallen off a little bit as of late, so please leave a comment. We'll chat back with you. Also, shoot us a follow on Instagram at Delete Everything Podcast, where you'll find photos corresponding to all of our episodes, as well as some short videos of us. Follow us on YouTube for a bunch of other shorts that you won't find on Instagram. And if you want to see the entire episodes in video format, you are in luck. Patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast is the spot for those. We've got 80-something episodes that you will not hear or see anywhere else. Those are exclusively for the people that we call investors. So if you like us and you got $8 sitting around and you want to be an investor in our little podcast, join us on Patreon. Like I said, you'll get 80 plus boners episodes.
Hey,
with a new one every single week. And those episodes are just funny, dumb stuff. Us ripping good
times, sir.
Us riffing and going off on a bunch of funny tangents and cackling madly, you name it. We just did a fucking ridiculous one where we made up a new term for, I don't even know what it was.
It was fat vaginas.
We did make up a new term for fat vaginas. We talked about a conversation.
We only made up the term because we were talking about somebody else making up a term. So it kind of happened organically. I'm not saying I'm calling fat vaginas frunkles because that's stupid.
We talked about a conversation that I had with AI. We talked about
how much we liked fat vaginas.
Riley's very bad, horrible day.
Oh, it sucked real bad.
We talked about, what did we talk about on the back? Oh, we talked about some music stuff too. We always end up on music stuff in Patreon.
Yeah, usually. Basil stag hair was a male hair in the Mossflower Woods in the Redwall books.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
See, that's the word I'm basing my reporting for duty, sir.
Okay.
That's what I'm basing my character on. Is this character Basil Staghair from the original Redwall books?
Well, normally, speaking of Patreon, we record our Patreon episodes first, so we get all the sillies out before we talk about the serious stuff.
The Basil's military experience included service as an office cook.
But apparently, it didn't work today.
In the 67th Paw and Mouth Long Patrol under Colonel Puffscott of the Fur and Foot Fighting Patrol.
God, that's okay.
He was a rabbit.
Yeah, he sure was. Good for him. All right, let's jump into this episode because it is a bit of a doozy and a little wild that it landed only a few weeks after some things happening in our current political system that have recently gone down. This is the story of the Battle of Athens.
Athens, Greece?
Tennessee. Different Athens, Tennessee. As I was writing this, I have to say this. As I was writing this, I was like, what does this remind me of? And I sat there and I was like racking my brain. I was like, there's something about this story that reminds me of something. And I don't know. I'm trying to remember what it is. And it finally came to me. And we're going to start this fucking baby right off rip with a Lord of the Rings reference.
Nice.
Sadly, this is a Lord of the Rings book reference and not a movie reference because Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson. Slapping good director.
Ripping good time.
Peter Jackson left out the scouring of the Shire from his movies.
Yes, he did. Which is, I would say,
horrible.
I understand why you would do that.
Yeah,
but I also think
I hate it.
If there was a single fucking criticism, we didn't rehearse this. This is the first thing that he said to me about the Scouring of the Shire. Yeah. But I got a whole thing about that shit. The whole point of the book was the Scouring of the Shire, in my opinion. So leaving that out cinematically, it was fine.
It was this sort of dark shit
Well, the concept,
technological bullshit hitting this like beautiful, perfect, virgin, like wonderful land.
It's you can never go home again.
Like the tentacles keep going.
The whole point of the Lord of the Rings is
that
home
never feels like home again.
Tolkien was in World War I, right?
Yeah.
You go ship out to the front and you dream of home all this time. And when you come home, it's not the same because the war affected home too.
Yep.
That's the point of the goddamn book. It's the whole thing is that, it always comes out there. So anyway, go ahead.
If you don't know about the Scouring of the Shire, if you've only seen the movies, you've never read the books, the Scouring of the Shire is where our Hobbit heroes come back to the Shire to find that Sauron, who is going by the name Sharky, and a group of quote-unquote ruffians have taken over, and they're hacking down trees, and they're destroying old homes, and they're building air and water polluting machinery.
They did sort of loop a little bit of that into the Two Towers when they're hacking down the old forest, but that was also included in the book.
When Frodo has the vision of So, our Hobbit heroes rouse all their fellow Shire folk into a rebellion called the Battle of Bywater.
Harry Hobbit heroes, please.
Harry Hobbit heroes. They have the Battle of Bywater, and they expel the ruffians from their beloved Shire. And this story reminded me of that. We are going to talk about August 1st, 1946.
Okay.
August 1st. Remember that date. Okay.
August 1st, 1946. So it's directly after World War II.
Directly. And by the way, that comes into play.
If you guys haven't read the fucking Lord of the Rings books, read the shit for that. I want to say that is probably Scouring of the Shire is probably the most violent part of all the books.
Yeah.
It gets gnarly, and the hobbits kill the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
which is cool.
They come back battle hard.
Yeah,
baby.
they come hard as fuck, dude.
And again, we're going to get into this. And if you have read the books and if you know about the Scouring of the Shire, you're going to see some similarities here. So this all starts in McMinn County, Tennessee.
Minge County?
McMinn,
okay.
We have to go back a little bit to the mid-1930s, right? At that time, the entire state of Tennessee was very much at the mercy of a man named E.H. Crump.
Fucking dumbass name.
Edward Hull Crump, also known as Boss Crump, which is also the name of my 8-man dance ensemble.
Fucking Ninja Turtles ass name.
Boss Crump is my 8-man dance ensemble. Boss Crump.
Oh, we can't get nothing done without Boss Crump in the mix.
E.H. Crump actually retired to create his own style of dance. So Crump is a Southern Democrat operating politically in the state since the 1910s, and he is very well connected and very influential in Tennessee politics. And he has built a political machine over a couple of decades that really touches every part of the state of Tennessee. By the time we get to the 1930s, the Democratic Party is going through this realignment, right? You may recall that in the 1860s, Southern Democrats were the party of slavery and later Jim Crow and segregation and, small government, blah, 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 while Republicans were the progressive party that was all about bigger government and civil rights and the abolition of slavery and all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the 30s, during the Great Depression, Democratic President Franklin Roosevelt introduced the New Deal, which put a strong emphasis on federal intervention, social safety nets, new federal regulatory administrations. And this was a Democrat who, up until this point, was about small government and all this stuff. FDR was really sort of caused a realignment, right? The 3 R's of the New Deal were relief, recovery, and reform. So providing relief to people who were in extreme poverty. This is on the back of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Right. So relief to people who were in extreme poverty, often to the point of starvation, by creating as many jobs, even short-term jobs, as possible, creating policies to jumpstart the economy back into recovery, which is the second R, especially small businesses, agriculture, creating fail safes through financial and economic reform to avoid another major catastrophic depression in the future. And so the New Deal created a bunch of the shit that still exists today to keep mega billion-dollar corporations from fucking us in the ass daily.
Wait a second. How could those things still be in place when it sounds like such commie bullshit?
Yeah.
In the 30s? Wait a second. Hold on. You mean there was commie bullshit all up in our America?
Yeah, and it led to 30 years of unprecedented middle-class wealth.
Wait a second. You mean that time that America was like...
it was so hugely popular.
It was like Big Good or something?
It was so hugely popular that FDR was the only president who got elected 4 times.
For now.
God damn it. Yes, if you did not know, it wasn't until after FDR that they created the 20-whatever Amendment, 4th, 24th, 26th, the one that does term limits.
They were like, that was too much of one guy.
Yeah.
He was like a king.
Everybody was sad when he died, like barely into his 4th term. They were like, oh, what are we going to do now? He was so great. And he wasn't.
All of our social programs.
Yeah. Well, okay. The New Deal created things like the FDIC, which is the
fat dick.
The fat dick. That's the federal insurance that keeps your money safe in the bank up to $100,000, where you've probably heard if your money's in the bank and the bank gets fucking robbed, your money is federally insured unless you have over $100,000 in an account.
So it is a fat dick. It's fed dick.
It is a fat dick.
Fed dick. FEDIC. Fed dick. It is the fed dick.
Fed dick. It also created the SEC, which regulates the stock market so you don't get fleeced by some fucking smooth talking grifter.
Put them together, you get the fed dick sec.
Public works like the WPA, which created millions of jobs building schools, roads, parks, other public infrastructure, environmental and forestry job through the CCC. It also created the Wagner Act and protected workers' rights and unions' collective bargaining rights, the Fair Labor Standard Acts, which created a federal minimum wage, 40 hours a week, and restrictions on child labor. None of this shit existed until the 1930s when fucking FDR came into power.
Pretty
right?
good stuff. Was the WPA?
Yeah, by the way, we have a WPA, yes.
WPA? What pussy area?
By the way, if you're like, child labor, what? We have a whole ass episode on child labor if you want to check on how fucking brutal that shit was. The New Deal also created Social Security. It also created the Agricultural Adjustment Administration, which was super important to farmers. It created the Tennessee Valley Authority, which modernized the fucking hell out of rural Tennessee, where a lot of people still didn't have electricity in the 1930s. And we're trying to survive the fucking Great Depression.
Interesting fact,
and just depression in general, probably.
My grandmother and her mother and some further lineage lived in Tennessee for a very long time. My grandmother was from Memphis.
Okay.
And it was Carolyn Spate.
E.H. Crump's original stomping ground.
Yeah, Memphis.
Yeah.
So like my grandmother, this is kind of cool because I don't talk much about like my Southern history there, but my Irish grandfather, who's a fucking strong Detroit Irishman working in car companies, he married this little Southern girl, Carolyn Spate, who was a skinny little lady from Memphis. And
she was from Memphis and you called her your grandmother? She wasn't like Mama or nothing?
She acclimated pretty well to Michigan.
But she still sounded like this.
Mm-hmm.
She did very much. Hey, I'm the mean grandma.
Call me Mama, baby.
No, I never did any of that. It was a little more wafy.
No, I'm your grandma.
I like her having one of these dark, deep voices.
That's not her voice, but she was a very nice, sweet lady, and I liked her a lot. But
Come sit on Mama's
my
lap,
mom would tell stories about like fucking going to visit like her friends and family, and they would go because in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, the fucking freeway wasn't complete everywhere. Nope. So they would go down dirt roads and drive up fucking mountains in like a Cadillac because my grandfather worked for like Chrysler. They would fucking drive up these dirt roads to shacks with dirt floors. Yeah. With like kids, like whole families living in them and no power. And that was in the 50s. Yeah. 50s and 60s.
Yeah. So the point is the New Deal is insanely popular.
Gonna get us a floor.
And at that point, Democrats either had to accept that this is the baseline for the party now or leave the party, right?
What, are we just going to give floors to every hovel?
And FDR stayed popular. Like I said, 4 times he ran and won. There's a lot of shit about him that I wouldn't condone. Japanese internment camps, a whole lot of discriminatory shit against black people, like inviting white Olympic medalists to the White House, but not the black ones.
Yeah, that sucks.
Not supporting anti-lynching laws, like that seems like a thing you could pretty much be like,
that's a gimme.
That's an easy one to be like, let's maybe not lynch people.
Yeah. I will say, a wood floor for every hovel is a hell of a platform.
But I digress. He was very popular.
Joke. Did you get it?
Yes.
A wood floor for every hovel is a good platform.
Yes, I got it. So guys like E.H. Crump were down for the ride, right? They saw FDR's popularity. They were like, let's fucking do it. So looking into Crump, you assume Southern Democrat in Tennessee in the 1930s, and you start to assume some racial fuckery may have been in the mix. As far as I could tell, he wasn't one of those. He supported black people voting. He had a lot of black supporters. His political group often paid the mandatory poll taxes that were in Tennessee at the time. You had to pay a poll tax, which was designed so that poor black people couldn't, poor people in general, but, you know, most of the black population in Tennessee fell under that category. So we stomp out some of the white vote too, whatever. At least we got rid of all the black vote.
Yeah. There's the poor's anyway.
Right. So he would raise funds to pay them so that black voters in Tennessee weren't disenfranchised. He backed black political candidates in Memphis, where he had 3 terms as mayor. As the years went on, though, and his political machine got bigger and more influential, he used his power to suppress a lot of people's freedoms and a lot of people's speech and a lot of other fuck shit, regardless of race or political party.
Yeah,
he started getting more influence and being like, I don't give a shit. I don't like you. Fuck you.
What did this dickhead look like?
Like an old fucking Tennessee man in the 1930s.
E.H. Crump?
E.H. Crump. Edward Hull Crump.
K-R-U-M-P?
No, C. Like a crumpet, but without the E-T.
Oh, he did look like an old bitch.
Yeah.
He looks like fucking...
He looks like a Keebler elf.
He's got like white hair and round glasses.
Yeah.
And he looks like somebody who'd go like, well, I bet you a golden horse.
He looks like a Keebler elf. I could see him in a Keebler in the tree making cookies.
But like a rich one. So not cool.
I own the cookie factory.
They must make all the cookies for me.
So in 1936, in Athens, Tennessee, which lies in McMinn County in eastern Tennessee, a guy by the name of Paul Cantrell is running for sheriff of the county. He is a Crump-backed candidate, and he comes from a rich, influential family, and he runs on a platform of basically dick-riding the hell out of FDR, right? FDR is massively popular, and it's sort of an easy way to gain a lot of votes. The thing is, E.H. Crump's influence isn't as massive in eastern Tennessee. He's got a lot of shit locked down in the west, like in the Memphis area, but Republicans still have a lot of pull in the east. So when Cantrell wins by a lot, it's a little suspect. There were a lot of tactics that were used: ballot stuffing, voter intimidation, straight up voter beatdowns. But anyone who had anything to say about it, who the fuck are you going to report it to?
Yeah.
So Cantrell wins. Everybody's like, whoa. How? And then they start suspecting all these things. But doesn't matter, because who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Paul Cantrell.
Oh.
Who is now the sheriff. And
I prefer Jerry Cantrell.
I had a thing where I was going to say, and then his around this time, his grandson met a young Lane Staley. Okay, so Cantrell's sheriff. No one can really dispute him, and he gets to making some changes, right? First off, hilariously, he changes the way his deputies get paid. They're not on salary anymore. They get a percentage of the fines they write, provided those fines are paid to the county.
Ah.
So they start arresting people, fining them, and once the fine is paid, they get whatever percentage. If you're changing the pay of your deputies to something in this sort of realm, right?
Mm.
You're either the dumbest motherfucker to ever pin a fucking badge to your chest, or you are
corrupt piece of shit,
or you're absolutely complicit with a solid amount of corruption in your department.
Yeah, I mean
I'm inclined to believe it's the latter.
I mean, we as a society have always understood that the quota and the initiatives behind things like speeding tickets or arrests, citations, things like that are all awful and corrupt. But
yeah,
it's just the way things are now.
If you make it where your deputies get a percentage of the tickets that they write, guess what they're going to do more of?
Exactly. Well, exactly. It's corrupt and awful.
And guess how quickly they're going to find reasons to go, yeah, you were.
Yep.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, you were. Here's your ticket. Because who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Paul Cantrell for sheriff.
Yes. So we as a society have always known that shit was awful. The quota system for speeding tickets and things like that is always just fucking, it's extortion. It's state-sponsored extortion. There's no way around it. But we have accepted it because we can't do fucking shit about it without killing everyone. So,
well, like I said, you're either a fucking idiot or you are corrupt, and you're fine with corruption in your department. by the time we get to this end of this story, you'll understand why I believe it was the latter. And you probably already believe it's the latter because it's Delete Everything podcast and everything's
and
horrible.
those guys are pieces of shit, yeah.
So
I mean, already he's a piece. You already know his name's fucking Crump.
No, this is Paul Cantrell.
Yeah, he sucks too.
He's a crump man.
Is he good at it?
He's just crump dancing in the fucking jailhouse.
Pat was just crumping on the radio.
I started crumping. So
I started crumping.
And then I started crumping. So overnight, McMinn deputies start just issuing fines willy-nilly to everyone. Now, they're smart enough initially to not fuck with the locals too much. Athens at the time has a population of about, we're talking in 1936. They have a population of about, not McMinn County total, but Athens, which is the main part of the county at the time, has a population of about 7,000 people. And it's like a big agricultural hub in, Appalachian, Tennessee. So these aren't really the type of folks that are going to take being pushed around very lightly.
Right.
So one of the favorite spots for deputies to go to was the Greyhound station as buses pass through.
Oh, so they're going to Rambo some people.
They would literally board the buses, walk down the aisles, shake people down, fine them for things like public intoxication or vagrancy, like Rambo.
Yeah, like Rambo, yeah.
Even if they were dead sober or on their way to another place.
They pull somebody off the bus, be like, get out of our town, and then arrest them and lock them up in the town.
And if they'd question the deputies, they'd be arrested and fined for resisting arrest. Wait, why are you writing me a ticket for fucking being drunk? I'm not drunk. You know what?
You are.
Now you're under arrest and you just resisted arrest. So
fuck
that's another
you.
fine. Because every fucking dollar I fine you is some extra pennies in my pocket. So, fun times. In the 10 years between 1936, when Cantrell was first elected, to 1946, when this story concludes, McMinn deputies collected almost $300,000 in fines, the modern day equivalent to a little over $5 million.
Jesus Christ.
In a small county in rural Tennessee.
God damn.
Yeah.
There's a movie like this.
And by the way, the $5 million is going off the 1946 numbers. If I run it back to like the median of 1941, right, in between 36 and 46, it's closer to 7 million.
Yeah.
Just, because everything's off of the inflation from then to now. So I guess not a bad grift. You're fucking making money at
Pretty
least.
solid.
By the way, just to add a few bucks to the total pot, Sheriff Cantrell and his boys also allow several illegal gambling houses, probably some whorehouses, although I didn't specifically see that in there. But
in the Tennessee Hills, I would bet you. There's a shack or two.
They would allow them to operate as long as they pay a monthly fee to the sheriff. So your classic protection racket.
Yeah, it's fucking shakedown, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if we shut you down, huh? Maybe give me a fucking grease the palm a little bit, huh?
But it's a little more like, well, we'd hate to shut you down here. We're a Christian county and all. And Frunkle's Pleasure House is not exactly in line with our fucking...
Sheriff Cantrell done sent me over here to tell you it'd be a real shame something happened to your fine establishment here.
Be a shame you found yourself down in a hole.
I'm gonna give it to you in a nutshell. You got a real jar of flies here.
You see that there, rooster? Pow.
You're gonna get shot down like a rooster. So when re-election came around in 1938, back then it was a 2-year term, right? So every 2 years there's an election. So when re-election comes around in 1938, the Cantrell men went around and rewarded anyone who would cast their vote for the sheriff's re-election with a bottle of whiskey or a twist of chew. What you want? You want some whiskey? You want some chew?
Twist of chew.
A twist of chew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a euphemism. You want a bottle of whiskey or you want a little twist of chew?
So between that,
a little York and pork, as it were.
A little nut and bolt. Between that and the ballot stuffing and
it sounds like another euphemism.
And the beating of unfriendly voters.
That also sounds like a euphemism. Fuck.
I'm going to give you 17 and a half guesses as to who won the county sheriff's race in 1938. Wrong. That was your half guess. Okay. You got
What?
17 more.
Oh,
That's 17 and a half.
I want to say Cantrell.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. And you missed your half vote. The same shit goes down in 1940, 2 years after that, when they have another re-election or another election. But here's the thing. Shortly after his third term starts in 1940, we've got boys shipping off to fight the Germans and the Japanese. The vernacular of the time would have probably put that differently, but you get it. The boys are shipping out in droves, right?
Right.
Everything all the quotes I read did not say the Germans and the Japanese. Just so you know, there were some other words in there. So in 1942, Paul Cantrell runs for state senate.
All right.
So he did 3 terms, 36, 38, and 40. Then in 42, he goes, I'm going to state senate.
Yep.
Right? He's going to go be a representative for the state of Tennessee in the state house. He wins, he runs, and he just wins.
Right.
Like no contest, right? His chief deputy, Pat Mansfield, runs for McMinn County Sheriff, and he wins as well.
A little puppet government. We work for the senator around here.
Mansfield doesn't necessarily implement any changes. It's just the same fuckery with like a different guy on top.
Right.
The federal
sounds like it might be a little more yeehaw, you know.
It's about to turn a lot more yeehaw because remember I said initially they weren't really fucking with the locals, but as this gets easier, as the elections come easier, as they get away with more of the fucking...
You can only peel a fruit so long until you start to fucking get into the center there.
As the, theft of the election process becomes a little bit more fine-tuned, they go, fuck it, who's going to stop us, right? Mm-hmm. So by 38, Mansfield is sheriff. There is actually a federal Department of Justice investigation into McMinn County on allegations of voter fraud for 1940 and 1942. Actually, again, in 44, which we'll get to in a second. But the entire political system in Tennessee at this time was such a crooked, corrupt fucking mockery that there was no way to really definitively prove who or what or how. Right. I will say that after a lot of the young men in the county shipped off for war, things got a lot more blatantly corrupt under Cantrell and Mansfield, right? All these young men leave for World War II.
Right.
And now we've got women, children, elderly. There's not as much pushback.
Right. This fucking, God, this sounds like so many different things.
All the boys with all the piss and vinegar are gone. Now it's easy.
It's like fucking Seven Samurai, there's Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Fucking
there are a lot of popular zeitgeist sort of things where it's like,
well, I'm sure it was on like so many people's minds too. Like all like, we're defenseless without our boys.
But the thing,
what about the threats at home?
As we get into it, the thing that really hit me, I was like, Scouring of the Shire, man.
Yeah,
and they came back.
Because the boys are all off fighting in Mordor.
Yep, exactly. So for starters, the illegal gambling and bootlegging and shit got worse, which is more money in their pockets.
Because the only people there, filthy fuck degenerates, they didn't go off to fight nobly for America.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Oh, we all have flat feet.
We have a hero of this story, and oh my God, I fucking love this guy so much. Just wait.
Love him so much.
Like I said, I will. Well, he's deceased, so I can't, but.
I mean, I can get some grave dirt.
Stop. Don't tempt me.
Frodo.
Just wait till you see how much.
Tempt me, Frodo.
I would use this grave dirt for good. But through me. So the illegal gambling and bootlegging and stuff gets worse, which of course those guys are paying off the local cops, right? We've also got a lack of young men around here, so we're going to hire ex-convicts and deputize them.
Hell yeah.
Guys who didn't qualify to go out.
And we got a full prison.
World War II, almost everybody qualifies. You know what I mean? So the guys who couldn't make the cut because they were so they had such bad rap sheets. Yeah. Let's deputize those guys.
Hell yeah.
It just builds to this thing where they exert control over everything. I mean, it turns into the local schools, the newspaper, hiring practices for local businesses. At some point during the war, 2 of the servicemen come back on leave, and they're McMinn County boys, and they're on leave. I don't know the details of the story, but they are shot and killed by Cantrell men, quote unquote.
Goddamn.
Cantrell men. Yeah, I mean, we're talking an entire network of deputies, criminals, justices of the peace. They started, like, there were X amount of justices of the peace before Cantrell became sheriff, and he dipped it down to like a very small number, and most of those guys were his men. So, I mean, this is a whole conglomerate. Like I said, deputies, criminals, justices of the peace, just regular ass boots on the ground. So word of this naturally makes its way back to the McMinn County boys that are overseas fighting the war. And they're like, what the fuck is going on back home? So in 44, Cantrell and Mansfield win re-election again for state senate and McMinn County sheriff, respectively. So they're staying. Cantrell's still in the state house. Mansfield is still the McMinn County sheriff. But that happens in 44. In 1945, we've got a pretty huge event that happens.
Oh, it would be the bombing of Hiroshima.
Well, the war wraps up and the boys start trickling back home.
Yeah.
So in McMinn County, there were about 3,000 World War II vets. That made up about 10% of the total population of the county in 1945.
Predominantly battle-hardened men between the ages of 18 and 30.
Probably 21 to
like 30, 35.
Early 20s to early 30s, yeah. And maybe even if you're talking some of the officers in some mid-30s.
Yeah, you get a Tom Hanks in there somewhere.
So
I'm going back to be a school teacher.
He's 45, but he plays 32. So they get home and they've just been discharged and they're receiving their mustering out pay, right? They get some nice money to get discharged and sent home. I mean, for the time, if I told you now, you'd probably be like, fuck is that? But
and then coming back to a, not overly wealthy rural community.
Yeah. And so these deputies that have been operating with pretty much no pushback are like, fuck yeah, these boys are flush with cash.
We can shake down all these suckers.
Get paid. Yeah. So naturally, they start harassing the vets as they arrive home.
And the vets start going,
I got shell shock.
I killed a man with my teeth, motherfucker.
So, like I said, the war wraps up September of 45. It takes a little while to get back home.
I'll show you what I learned in Da Nang.
That's Vietnam.
I mean, we're still around there, right? There's an island called Da Nang.
In Vietnam?
No, in the Pacific. Don't worry.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Darang.
Okay, sure.
Dakong, whatever.
Sure.
Like any fucking Micronesia's got a bajillion islands.
What you could have just said Iwo Jima.
There you go.
That's one with a lot of guys.
Tell you what I learned in
real fucked up.
Tell you what I learned in France. Fuck, whatever.
Okay. So, like I said, war wraps up end of 45, right? Well, Germany.
We don't need to do the whole thing.
Germany earlier, I think March of 45, Japan September or end of August 45, the surrender, all the paperwork and everything went through September 45. They don't just say, okay, we're done. See ya.
Yeah.
Right. There's a whole process that takes weeks, sometimes months before you're back home.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys are getting back late 45, early 46.
That is actually a really interesting period because there was a time in there where the government was like, well, we do have all these soldiers. What do we just stop having them?
Well, a lot of them stayed stationed overseas. Of course, after World War II, we established bases in Japan and Germany because
the discharge process.
We need to make sure you don't do it again.
Especially with that, it's like, well, we did just kind of gain two countries.
Yeah.
We could use these soldiers.
But also, if you're in the Navy and you're stationed in the South Pacific, it takes a couple of months just to sail back on the ship that you're stationed on. So all these boys are getting back late 45, early 46. They don't just all get home at the same time. It depends on your branch, your military job, your rank, all kinds of shit. A lot of these guys are back home by early 46. Most of them have trickled in by early 46, which, if you've been paying attention to the 2-year cycle, is an election year.
Yeah.
Pat Mansfield's name is mud with the vets before they even come home.
Maybe because of the shooting of two of them already?
And just, letters back and forth from family talking about sort of the shit that's going on in McMinn County under this guy that's gotten worse. It was bad with Cantrell. It's worse now that his deputy chief, Mansfield, is the sheriff.
What was Mansfield's first name?
Patrick. So clearly a piece of shit.
Pat Mansfield.
So, like I said, Mansfield's name is fucking like trash from before they get home. He is still only sheriff because he's got a whole racket going with the ballot stuffing and other criminal shit. But most of the locals know what's going on by this point. They have no way to stop it. They're powerless. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Pat Mansfield for sheriff, 1946. So Paul Cantrell, formerly the sheriff, now state representative Paul Cantrell, comes up with an idea for the 1946 election, right?
Yes.
He's going to run for sheriff again, and Mansfield can run for state senate.
So we'll switch out here. Let me get a little vacation, rack up some dough real quick, and then...
Listen, either way, they're going to cheat the voters and quote-unquote win, but so many of these vets were younger and dumber.
Oh, shit, Pat Mansfield looks like a fucking thug, dude.
Let me see him.
You seen this picture?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this fuck. He looked like fucking fat neck, big nose.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna pay what you owe.
Yeah,
like,
he's got a face you could cut a roast on.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You can see the blemishes. This picture is from 1942 and it's fucking grainy as shit. You can see the blemishes on this guy's fucking face through him.
Yeah,
It's like you barely see the hair.
He's got a dirty cop face.
You can barely see his hair, but you can definitely see the fucking gargoyle blemishes.
He's got a dirty cop face.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Like I said, either way, they're going to cheat and they're going to win. But because so many of these vets were younger when Cantrell was sheriff and he didn't go quite as hard on the corruption shit as Mansfield did, the idea is that Cantrell will get their votes because his corruption was more chill and sneaky and secret.
Right.
So in Cantrell and Mansfield's minds, Cantrell's more tolerable as the sheriff. Right.
Let things cool off
Let's bring
a little
the old
bit,
guy back who wasn't he was still bad.
Things
but he
were
wasn't
better
as
with him.
bad. Right. Fortunately, the vets are not fucking buying this shit.
No, dude, fuck you.
Yeah. They're not fooled at all by this switcheroo of one guy who's just slightly better than the previous guy. They're fully the same team, the same ticket, the same backers, the same everything. This is a quote from veteran Bill White, who we are going to hear so much from as we get into. This is the guy that I said, I fuck with this guy so hard. This dude rules. So this is a quote from Bill White. And by the way, I don't know. It's 1940s fucking rural Tennessee. He might have been a nightmare. But in this story, I dig pretty much everything about him. You're not going to find anything looking him up that I have not found.
Okay.
There's a different Bill White too. You got to dig a little deep. We'll get into that, right? So this is Bill White. There were several beer joints and honky tonks around Athens. We were pretty wild. We started having trouble with the law enforcement at that time because they started making a habit of picking up GIs and fining them heavily for most anything. They were kind of making a racket out of it. After long, hard years of service, most of us were hardcore veterans of World War II. We were used to drinking our liquor and our beer without being molested. When these things happened, the GIs got madder. The more GIs they arrested, the more they beat up, the madder we got.
They're out there causing a ruckus for having some fun. They just got back home after fucking years of warfare.
The boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town. And like they're seeing like they said 9,000 or some shit.
3,000. 10% of the county.
3,000 men who had just been out
in
like
a small rural county.
Yeah, they're coming back. They want to get liquored up and go see their ladies.
Yeah.
Fucking don't fuck with those boys.
So the vets aren't buying this switcheroo bullshit. They start their own political party or maybe a political action. It's somewhere between a political party and a political action committee. It's not really either of the two because politics was different.
Bunch of motherfuckers getting together and being like, this is dumb.
It's particularly stumping and fundraising and shit. But at any rate, they start the GI Nonpartisan League.
Yeah.
They have their first meeting in May of 1946 and only veterans are allowed to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're checking cards at the door. You do not come in if you're not a vet. A World War II vet specifically.
Right.
Yeah, they'd probably let World War I vets in, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they're, I want to see too, Sonny. They're like, all right, come on in, Gramps.
Honestly, probably. So, but again, 10% of this county is comprised of veterans fresh back from World War II. So, like just logically between them, family members, wives, girlfriends, other people in girlfriends' families.
Right.
Yeah. Other people in McMinn County who have just been yelling about this fucking shit for a decade now, but they don't have the money or the clout to do anything about it. This is a big fucking problem for Cantrell and Mansfield.
Yeah. Yeah,
right? These
yeah.
guys organizing a political party. It's like, do you know how much fucking respect World War II veterans got when they came
Literally all of it.
They came back from the war. They commanded so much fucking respect. They just beat Hitler and the guys who bombed Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Like, that was a war where they were fully the good guys.
Yeah. They're all returning heroes.
Yeah.
Like, that's every one of them.
100%. Especially because this is a war that changed the way wars were fought.
Yeah.
This was a naval battles, and just the South Pacific was just such a big fucking campaign all over the place, all through the fucking Pacific.
No.
And you had to have fucking boats and this and that and the other fucking thing. These guys came back and it was like fucking heroes. Every single fucking one of them who made it, because so many of them did not.
Yeah.
So them starting a GI political league singularly trained on removing two fucking assholes, and that's what they were, Cantrell and Mansfield.
I can specifically think of like 1,000 of these 3,000 guys just being like, "Hey, I think
We're starting a political campaign specifically to take out these two fuckheads."
I feel like maybe 1,000 out of the 2,000 are like, we can go handle this like right now.
Yeah.
Like, what's this meeting? You
know what? Table that for a second.
We had worse odds at fucking like Nuremberg or whatever.
Table that shit for 1 sec, because we'll come back around to that. So, but in terms of the way Cantrell and Mansfield are looking at it, again, this is a big problem. Like, we've been stealing elections, but like now there was pushback before, but now this is pushback from these guys who are fucking war heroes. Like, you've got no fucking chance. You've got no fucking chance.
Boss, I hate to tell you, but it seems like the group of armed heroes that just came back from conflict don't like us, and they're gathering together.
So what, you've already been like beating people up at the fucking polls. You've already been fucking taking the ballot boxes and adding your own shit into it. What do you do once this happens?
I don't know. You guys couldn't see that, but when he said taking the ballot boxes and adding your own shit into it, he made like a jerk off motion. I think he was saying like, he was like doing like a stuffing things into the ballot motion, but it looked like he was implying that they were coming into it.
They might have. As the name suggests, this was a nonpartisan movement, right? The vets choose 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats to back in a number of races in the county. For the sheriff of McMinn County, the guy that they're going to run against Paul Cantrell is a guy named Knox Henry.
Knox?
Knox.
Good name.
There's some cool names in this fucking episode. Just wait. Knox Henry. So, and this guy is a well-respected, decorated veteran in the oft-forgotten North African campaign, right?
Yes, that is,
North Africa,
particularly oft forgotten.
Well, because it wrapped up. It wrapped up quickly.
Some of the more interesting, I mean, like, it's all World War II is very interesting, especially to men of a certain age. But like, fucking the African campaigns are weird because you got like the Desert Fox and shit out there, and fucking everything's sandy. It's desert warfare.
Yeah, and it was the Allies against the Germans and the Italians.
You get some real fucking weird like Morocco flavor out there, and fucking. Like
it wrapped up, I think, in 42 or 43. Like it wasn't. I think we were only involved for about a year.
Yeah,
actually, I think it was. If I remember correctly, it was like a year, almost like on the dot. It was like May 41 to 42, or May 42 to May 43. It was like a year we were out there. So and it wrapped up way before 45.
Yeah, and
it wrapped up 42
it was
or
because
43.
Hitler at a certain point was like, pull out of Africa. We don't
get
have
the
time
fuck
for
out
this
of
shit
yeah.
yet.
And at that point, we had also beat Mussolini too. So like, because Mussolini, like Italy exited the fucking World War II way before Japan and Germany did. So like I said, so they back Knox Henry for sheriff, and they have a full slate, Democrats and Republicans. We're running these guys who we think will be the best for these positions in the county.
So we're saying that the veterans are backing Knox Henry.
Yes.
Cool.
The vets are. He's a decorated. He was in the North African campaign. He's a decorated veteran and very well respected. So the nonpartisan league's slogan was "Your vote will be counted," which is very impactful.
That's good. That's just fucking very straightforward.
Yeah. Well, they know as well as basically everyone else here that Cantrell and Mansfield have been stealing elections. So it was a pretty
slogan should have just been, "We will kill them."
Yeah. By the way, at this meeting that they had, this meeting that was vets only, right? Only GIs. It was a pretty huge talking point. Like, how are we going to make sure it's a fair election? Like we're saying, we're running on your vote will be counted. How are we going to do this? And a lot of vets from this area at that time are quoted as saying things like, it wasn't really a town anymore. It was a jail. Another quote, it was like Nazi Germany. It was run by deputies who, quote, were nothing but a lot of swaggering, strutting stormtroopers, drunk most of the time, beating up our citizens for the slightest reason. These are quotes from returning vets.
I feel like a lot of vets in that meeting are like cleaning their fingernails with their knives and bayonets and shit, just being like, so how are we going to handle this? What's the plan here?
So they're all talking about how they're going to pull this off, and old Billy White is pretty convinced that everyone's solutions are naive. And so he says, boy, another Bill White quote. God, we have so many of these, and they're all fucking solid.
Bill White,
gold.
he's this character I'm looking at, this picture of the square jaw.
Let me look. Let me see.
I was just looking at him. Hold on. I'll look it back up, but you go ahead.
Okay. So Bill White says, I'm telling you, every single quote from this guy is great. He says, listen, do you think that they're going to let you win this election? Those people been taking these elections for years with a bunch of armed thugs. If you never got the guts enough to stand up and fight fire with fire, you ain't going to win. So Bill is already down to fuck shit up. And I got to say, as a man of conviction, I am fully into it.
Fuck yeah. See, the fucking Che Guevara said, man, a revolution without guns would never work.
Listen, this is a man, Bill White is a man who does not mince words. He is not going to walk on eggshells. This is what he sees, by the way, as a battle-hardened...
He didn't watch his friends die face down in the mud.
He is a battle-hardened veteran who survived Guadalcanal.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Son. That's battle.
Guadalcanal, if you don't know, was the heavily contested sea lane in the South Pacific, where there are over 100 naval vessels and over 1,400 aircraft and over 20,000 dead bodies at the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Yeah, that's a fight. That's a war fight.
So this dude is not here to fuck around.
That's like kind of like the Battle of the Bulge Pacific style.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking, that's one of the big names.
That's like somebody who fucking survived storming the beach at Normandy.
Yeah, for real.
Like, that's a guy who saw shit.
20,000 bodies go in the water. The sharks.
So they kind of dismiss his outburst, and they're like, no, we don't want to do that. You know, they don't want to resort to these sort of measures. They want to win. And I get it, you know.
Well, we want to be civilized about this.
Well, we have some very thrown about sayings about violence. You know, violence is never the answer.
Unless the question is, what is the answer?
I don't believe that violence is never the answer, and this is a gret story that will...
No, that's fucking propagandic bullshit.
I will say the oft-repeated phrase, violence begets violence, is...
that's apt.
That one, I think, is pretty accurate. So,
but you got to figure it's only going to do that until the other violent one isn't doing the violence anymore.
Well, so I understand the need for a steady hand and making sure you don't pop off too quick, which I feel like if Bill White had his druthers, he would
just fucking in the streets. Let's
already be out there.
Let's go, bitch.
Yeah. So
I have been pigeonholed as a reactionary person when it comes to shit like this.
And I'm a very measured person, but I also understand there's a time and a place.
Well, it's like I recently had some friends who were threatened with violence by like a neighbor, right? And it was a situation where they were frightened because the person had like threatened gun violence, and it was like a whole thing.
Oh.
And they were very specifically like, okay, we're going to stay at my sister's. We're going to get a restraining order, stuff like that, and took the proper measures because they are rational adult human beings.
Right.
My first question was, is he at his apartment right now?
Riley is down to do crimes.
I will. It's not a crime if they don't catch you, okay? And they can't catch you if there ain't no witnesses.
Fair. So they sort of brush off Bill White's general demeanor here, and they go, we're not going to do that. Let's not.
It just strikes me as somebody who's like spitting tobacco, and just like fucking cleaning his gun.
As I go through these quotes, just build an image of Bill White in your head for me.
Is this him? Yeah, that's it. Because this motherfucker looks like
Yes, that is
Popeye the fucking sailor. Like, he is square jawed and squinty eyed. Like, he just looks specifically like a guy who'd be like, well, I ain't been in a fight in a minute, but I ain't lost in a minute neither. You know?
More on that discussion about fighting fire with fire versus the rest of the vets going, nah, maybe no, let's not go that hard, right? So with this GI nonpartisan league, even though a lot of people still thought that the 46 McMinn County election would be rigged, they understood how hard this is going to be. They still donated a lot. This was like a well-funded effort, and a lot of people are on board. A lot of local businesses are on board. People are sick of this shit. The people who stayed behind while all the GIs went off to fight.
And I like the idea that they're like, this is America. This is the America we fought for.
Yeah.
We can do this through due process.
Yep. So as voting is close to starting, we got some more Bill White in the mix. In an effort to prevent Cantrell and Mansfield's voter intimidation bullshit, Bill White says, to keep thugs from beating up GIs and keep them from taking the election, he organizes a fighting bunch. There's no G on fighting.
No, obviously not.
A fighting bunch.
A fighting bunch, boys. They got some suspenders and no shirts. They're out there ready to go.
Listen, I love a no nonsense country boy. I really do. I really do.
Especially when it's like geared towards this kind of shit.
Yeah,
you know?
as long as you don't hit me with some fucking like racist, fucking bigot, xenophobic bullshit.
Unfortunately, Tennessee in the 40s. But you know what? I'm not going to make any claims because this guy's...
I don't know. I haven't found a single thing. He says Japs a lot.
Well...
But I mean, he fought he was in Guadalcanal.
It's like when John McCain said gooks during his
my God,
his campaign.
Forgot about that.
And like when it was I remember I was in like middle school and I remember that and I was like, it was the most fascinating thing because he was running for president and he used this terrible slur and then he went like, ooh, I'm sorry, and everyone was like, it's okay,
and everybody was like, they did keep you in a
prison
fucking
camp for like fucking
for years.
5 years or some shit. So okay, I get you. Yeah. Like, but he was like, I'm sorry.
It would probably take me a little while before I could be nice to the people who kept me in a fucking cage for years. So I get it. So Bill White, this dude fucking rules. He organizes his fighting bunch, and here's a quote. I got out and started organizing with a bunch of GIs. Well, spirits. I learned that you get the poor boys out of poor families, and the ones that was frontline warriors that's done fighting and didn't care to bust a cap on you. I learned to do that. So that's what I picked. I had 30 men, and I took what mustering out pay I had, and I bought pistols. And some of them had pistols. I had 30 men organized.
He used the money.
He used his mustering out pay to buy pistols
guns
for the guys who didn't have pistols.
Tight.
Yeah. So he's got 30 GIs armed and tasked with keeping Cantrell's men. This is before the voting starts. They are tasked with keeping Cantrell's men from scaring voters away. Cantrell and Mansfield's response, hiring over 200 deputies from nearby counties and other states at $50 pay rate, which seems excessive. $50 a day. $50 a day pay rate.
Figure that is excessive, but you also have to figure some of them are going to die.
Yeah. By the way, the 200 plus is excessive. Also bear in mind that $50 a day in 1946... You want to hazard a guess?
It's like $2,000 a day or something?
Nah, not quite so much. $854 a day in 2006.
$800 is a lot of money, dude.
I would do some things for $854 a day.
I have a side job tomorrow that I do not want to do for $300.
Yeah. So, August 1st, 1946. Remember that date I told you to remember?
August 4th, 1986.
August 1st, 1946.
August 5th, August
3046.
August 1st, 1946.
Yes. Election day. Normally, there are 12 county polling places, 12 precincts, 12 voting precincts.
Polling
right?
places?
Yes.
That's slang?
Polling places. Miss McMinn's polling place. Exotic massage. Normally, they're
Miss McMinn sounds like Mig Ming.
Yeah, Miss McMinn.
You got to respect.
You have to respect. Win-win. So there are 12 voting precincts in the county. Normally there would be about 15 deputies on duty for this, right? The GIs have their fighting bunch, and they've got a solid number of poll watchers. And obviously Cantrell and Mansfield have their...
Poll watchers.
Yeah. Cantrell and Mansfield have their 200 out-of-town / out-of-state, in some cases, deputies, right?
Right.
So
we're going to ship us in some thugs.
Yeah, so we're starting the morning off ripe for fuckery. And the fuckery abounds like you would not believe.
I do like the idea that it's a bunch of local boys going up against boys who ain't from around these parts.
In rural Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly.
In Appalachian, Tennessee in 1946. Pretty much the whole story now. I want you to remember, we're starting in the morning of August 1st. Pretty much everything from here on, it all happens on August 1st.
Right.
So everything we're about to talk about happens within a 24-hour period. Also important to note, before Election Day, the campaign manager for one of the GI candidates, I think Henry Knox's campaign manager, he had sent telegraphs not only to the Tennessee governor, but also to the U.S. Attorney General to send someone, anyone, to help ensure a fair election. And he never received a response from either one of them.
Oof.
So, back to the morning of August 1st, in the neighboring town of Etowah, this is just outside of Athens, right? In McMinn County, a GI poll watcher asked for the ballot box to be opened before voting starts so he could confirm that it was empty. You know, because of the cheating and election thievery.
Yeah, the election fraud that's been rampant.
Yeah, because the shit for the last decade.
Yeah.
By the way, he is fully allowed to ask. As a poll watcher, legally, he is totally allowed to ask to be shown that the ballot box is starting off empty. He is arrested and taken to jail.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Back in Athens, that same afternoon, an elderly farmer named Tom Gillespie is in the process of being prevented from casting his ballot by an officer.
Right.
It shouldn't matter at all ever, but I'm sure it was a factor in how this all played out. Tom Gillespie is an elderly black man. He's a farmer, a local farmer, and he's being told by this deputy that he cannot put his ballot in the box. So a GI poll watcher sees this and comes forward to question why Gillespie can't vote, and immediately the officer hits Gillespie with brass knuckles. Not the poll watcher, the old black farmer.
Right.
Hits him with brass knuckles. So Gillespie drops his ballot and starts to run away, and this cop, whose name is CM, quote, Windy Wise. I'm Deputy Windy Wise.
Come Windy Wise.
Yeah, he shoots Gillespie in the back.
Motherfuck.
As the man is running away, he just shoots him. Gillespie does survive, so they go ahead and take him to jail. A man who's just been freshly shot in the back by an officer who refused to let him vote. They go, "You okay?" All right, take him to jail.
Yeah, classic.
What the fuck? This has escalated very quickly from, let's call it kerfuffle to commotion to violent altercation.
A hubbub.
I think we skipped hubbub.
We're past hubbub?
We're yeah. When we hit violent altercation. Yeah. Because when this happens, like we go from, well, what's all the fuss to shooting, fleeing assault victims in the back.
Is that considered a ruckus?
That's more than a ruckus.
It's more than a ruckus. Okay.
But hey, don't worry.
Fuckery.
We're fully into fuckery territory for sure. But don't worry. Sheriff Mansfield arrives on the scene to make everything better, and he just orders that the poll is closed. We're just closing this one.
Bits some chewing tobacco on the victim.
Yeah, that guy with the fucking the face like a fucking cutting board.
Yeah,
he shows up. He goes, this poll's closed. We're not doing this anymore. Right? This sets off a whole fucking pandemonium. Like, because people are like, well, what the fuck? Like, you know, everybody's we've got GIs there. We've got it's one of 12 voting precincts. Yeah. And you just said, okay, this man was trying to fucking vote. He ran away after getting hit by the cop, and then the cop shoots him in the fucking back, and then the sheriff shows up and goes, no more, and grabs the ballot box and fucking walks away. Right? So naturally, people are like, yo, and it starts getting, shit's bubbling up.
Yeah.
So as this sort of, we're going to call it a pre-riot. As this pre-riot starts fomenting, Officer Wise, who just shot a man in the back, and another deputy at the poll, Carl Nell, take two of the GI poll watchers hostage.
Oh.
A guy named Charles Scott and another guy named Ed Vestal. Scott and Vestal get away almost immediately, and there are multiple accounts of how that happened, varying from they jumped through a window to escape to a guns out standoff with Sheriff Mansfield, to someone came, like a guy from the local newspaper came to count the ballots, and during that distraction, they broke down a door and dove out of the building as bullets are flying over their heads. Like I said, there are multiple. Those are the three main varying accounts of how Charles Scott and Ed Vestal got away. One thing is undisputed here, and that is that their escape was 100% followed by gunfire from the police.
Oof.
So, however it happened, the shit is on now.
Oh, yeah. They're shooting at the poll watchers who are veterans.
They already shot one guy, an elderly black farmer, and now they took two fucking veteran GI poll watchers hostage. And when these guys are running away, they're shooting at them. Again, shooting at the backs of fucking war heroes.
Wait until the fighting bunch hears about this.
So someone in the crowd yells out, "Let's go get our guns." And no one seemed to object.
Everyone was like, yeah.
So the GIs chirped the fuck out as the deputy police chief, Bo Dunn, who was also on the scene, and the two other deputies, Carl Nell and Wendy Wise, who again just shot a man in the back. They all take the ballot box and get in a car and go to the jail, to the Athens jail, right? As this is all going on, they send out Bo Dunn. Hey, I'm Deputy Police Chief Bo Dunn. He sends two other deputies after Scott and Vestal, who just escaped, right, to go arrest them. Those two deputies are almost immediately disarmed and taken hostage by the GIs.
Nice.
So they send two more. Same result. In total, the GIs take 7 deputies hostage.
Oh, fuck.
So they've got these 7 deputies hostage, and there's a man, Otto White, who is the Republican election, I don't think related to Bill White at all, but Otto White, he's the Republican election supervisor, and he is an advisor to the GI's political league, right? He's just been kind of giving them advice on how to operate. I don't think like necessarily running candidates, but just how to navigate the system of running a political league and putting candidates forth and stuff like that, right? So he's there as the GIs are bringing these hostages in, and he asks our guy, Bill White, again, no relation, what the hell he's going to do with these guys. And Bill White says, "I don't know, Otto. We might just kill him." End quote.
I don't know.
So this causes, I'm sorry, it's Otto Kennedy. No relation. Otto Kennedy freaks the fuck out and leaves, and he's like, "I don't want no part of no murder." He's like, "I'm taking my brother-in-law and we's getting out here." With like, they fucking
don't be a fucking bitch, Otto,
bro. They don't want.
The shit is fucking on. What is the shit is on like to these people? Oh no, you can't be a part of murder.
Yeah.
Fuck these assholes.
Yeah, well, he does not want to be part as an election chief, and you don't want to be part of cops being murdered, but. Maybe you do.
Those aren't cops. Those are swine.
Right. So here's the good news, I guess. The GIs just take these 7 hostages out about 10 miles outside of Athens, strip them down, tie them to trees, and beat the fucking dog shit out of them. And I feel like Bill White was probably there. That was probably the work of the fighting bunch.
Right, yeah.
Meanwhile, back in town, there are still polls that are open. Like, news of this is all over town, but people are still scrambling to get their votes in. One of the polls, which is right across the street from the Athens jail, is being commanded by a guy named Minus Wilburn. Minus, spelled like minus,
Nice.
Minus. Minus Wilburn, who everyone knows is one of Mansfield's guys.
Oh, yeah.
So he, there's a line of people waiting to vote, and he goes ahead and motions for a young girl to go ahead and cast her ballot. There are 2 GI poll watchers there, Bob Harrell and Leslie Dooley. They see this and they're like, "Hold up. How old is she? She is clearly underage."
Yeah.
So they ask her for her name, and when she tells them she's not on the voter register, and so they ask her for her poll tax receipt, back when that was a thing, and she doesn't have one. So Minus Wellburn goes to grab her ballot and put it in the box anyway, and Bob Harrell grabs his arm, and Minus Wellburn hits him across the face with a fucking blackjack and then proceeds to kick him in the face once he's on the ground. I'm not entirely sure who else joined the scrum, but Harrell is beaten so badly that he has to be hospitalized, and so Minus Wellburn closes that poll, grabs the ballot box, and runs across the street to the jail. Right.
Looking like everything's kind of headed towards the jail.
Whatever they can get their hands on.
Listen, I play Dungeons and Dragons. This series of events is leading to what I would anticipate is a standoff at the jail.
You would be, I don't even need you to roll for initiative on that one.
It's like if I was directing this movie, like the second time somebody runs to the jail with the ballot box, I'm like, oh, this is where the big set piece is going to be. It's the jail.
Yeah. So by this time, it's getting sort of late, and the rest of the polls are starting to close, and those ballot boxes are being counted. But there are 2 ballot boxes in the jail, plus a third one that came from somewhere. So they're in. We've got cops barricaded in the jail.
Plus a third one.
With
They just have another box.
Another one came from somewhere. I couldn't find the story
Right.
of where it came from. But they've got 3 out of 12 ballot boxes, right? So they've got a quarter. They've got 25% of the ballot boxes in the jail, right? Now, if you think this whole day has been pretty insane so far, you're right. It has been insane. But the insanity is about to be fucking dialed up to 11. Our homeboy, Bill White, has been present for some of the bullshit events of this day.
Getting more pissed off as time goes on.
I mean, so in addition to a couple of stories I told, like I just told the story of Tom Gillespie getting shot in the back, fucking Harold getting hit with the blackjack, the other guy getting hit with, or the other guy asking about the ballot box and immediately getting arrested and taken to jail. In addition to those stories, there's a whole lot of taunting from deputies. There's fist fighting in the streets. It has been an absolutely fucking raucous election day. And Bill has pretty much had enough, especially as the ballots that haven't been stolen by the cops are counted, and the GI's candidates are winning by like a 3-to-1% margin, or a 3-to-1 margin, right? A 3-to-1 margin. So word of the 3 missing ballot boxes makes its way to Bill White, and he says, "Boy, they doing something. I'm glad they done that. Now, now all we got to do is whip on the jail."
They doing something. I'm glad they done that.
Now all we got to do is whip on the jail.
That's good stuff.
Do you not fucking love this dude?
I just love. I'm glad they done that.
I'm glad
That's
they
good
done
shit.
that.
That's good shit. There's like there's this video.
I would follow this man to the depths of hell.
There's this video of like a big guy picking a fight with a little guy in like Home Depot or something. Yeah. And the little guy's like, oh yeah. He puts his card away and he starts like taking his shirt off. He's like, I want this. And you see the big guy's face like, oh shit. That's how I feel with this Bill White's like, oh yeah, all right. This is what I've been looking for.
All we got to do is whip on the jail. Honestly, I don't care what anybody thinks. You guys can deep dive this guy and find the worst things. But he's about to be like a posthumous addition to the Delete Everything crew. Like this might be one of my favorite guys that we've
find out
covered.
Where he's buried. I'll go get some dirt.
We can add him to the team and just randomly throw in quotes from him on other unrelated episodes.
I just watched Half Baked with my wife last night, and you know the part where Jim Brewer throws Jerry Garcia's ashes at the bad guy.
Yeah,
and Jerry Garcia appears and beats him with a guitar. I feel like if we get some Bill White grave dirt. We wear a little bag around your neck. You got to kick somebody's ass.
They'll just appear right here next to me on the couch.
Pocket sand. Shasha.
So,
the very least, rub your knuckles with it before you fucking clock somebody.
So, Bill sends his lieutenant. I don't know if they were deployed together or if this is a lieutenant of the fighting bunch, but he sends his lieutenant Edsel Underwood.
Edsel's good.
EDSEL. There are some good names of this.
Yep.
What was the first one? Knox was a good one. Minus, even though he's a shitty guy, this is a cool name. Edsel is a cool name. There was an Otto Kennedy. That was a cool name. So Bill White tells Edsel Underwood, to take 5 or 6 men and break into the National Guard armory and take the weapons out.
Yep, that's what you do.
And they do.
Yep.
They go and shake down the caretaker of the National Guard armory. In 1946, there's just a caretaker in the National Guard armory.
Yeah, this town has 3,000 war veterans. The fuck? Like,
So they go shake down this caretaker and they get the keys from him. They walk in through the fucking front door and they snatch up 70 rifles, a shit ton of ammunition, and 2 Thompson submachine guns. You know, just a fucking fully automatic rifle with a 100-round drum of 45 caliber ammo.
Yeah.
That's it. Just
a
2 of
gun's
those.
still in circulation
Just
because
2 of those.
It does its job so good.
Yeah. So they get those weapons, they bring them back to Bill, and Bill distributes rifles and bandoliers of ammo to about 60 men, and they head over to whip on the jail. So at this point, he's got his fighting bunch, but a lot of other people have just given up and gone home. They're like, dude, another one. They got us again, right? A few of the vets are still milling about downtown, and Bill White knows that if he does not get them riled up, they're going to lose everything that they fought for, and beyond that, everything that their party promised to the citizens of McMinn County, right? Your vote will be counted.
It's a good slogan.
So
Powerful.
I'm going to read you his speech without any Tennessee stank on it, which I've been doing thus far, because this is a goddamn great speech. By the way, when you envision Bill White, tell me what you're envisioning.
I'm picturing like a kind of skinny, but like, you know, like built character, maybe wearing like a wife beater with some suspenders on, you know, probably like khakis, but he's got them held up by the suspenders. I guess like hobnail boots.
Okay.
You know, maybe smoking a pipe,
Right.
but like a corn cob.
Right.
You know, and just kind of like cracking his knuckles.
What age are you thinking?
Oh, I'm thinking 30, maybe 30.
22 years old.
20. No wonder he's ready to fuck shit up.
By the way, he lied to join the Marines.
He's a Guadalcanal at 18 years old.
17 years old. He joined in 42 when, by the way, all the Guadalcanal shit went down.
God damn.
As a 17-year-old boy who listed.
So he actually went through multiple years post Guadalcanal.
Yes, he was there for 3 years in the South Pacific
as a seasoned veteran. God damn.
So he is 22 years old.
Out of his fucking mind.
Like I said, I am not going to put any Tennessee stank on this because it is a fucking phenomenal speech for a 22-year-old man who is fighting for something that he believes in. And I honestly think that this resonates today, maybe more so than in a lot of eras in American history, right?
Right.
So this is Bill White's speech. Again, keep in mind, we've got 9 ballot boxes counted and our candidates are winning 3-1. We've got the cops, the crooked cops that have been stealing elections for a decade, holed up in the jail with 3 of our fucking ballot boxes. What are they going to do? Everybody sort of gives up. He's got his 60 guys all armed, and everybody else is kind of like, fuck, dude, I guess let's go home. And he's going, no, we promised a thing. We came back from fighting for freedom to a town that doesn't have the basic freedom of being able to fucking vote, which he's about to cover here in this speech. And he's like, I've got to get people riled up, right?
Right.
Well, here you are. After 3 or 4 years of fighting for your country, you survived it all. You came back. And what did you come back to? A free country? You came back to Athens, Tennessee in McMinn County that's run by a bunch of outlaws. They've got hired gunmen all over this county right now at this minute. What for? One purpose. To scare you so bad you won't dare stand up for the rights you've been bleeding and dying for. Some of your mothers and some of your sisters are afraid to walk down the streets to the polling places. Lots of men, too, because they know what happens. A car drives by in the night and shoots out your windows. If that doesn't scare you enough, they'll set fire to your house or your barn. They'll beat up members of your family and put them in jail for no reason. Is that the kind of freedom you were supposed to be fighting for? Do you know what your rights are supposed to be? How many rights have you got left? None. Not even the right to vote in a free election. When you lose that, you've lost everything. And you're damn well going to lose it unless you fight and fight the only way they understand. Fire with fire. We've got to make this an honest election because we promised the people that if they voted, it would be an honest election. And it's going to be, but only if we see that it is. We are going to have to run these organized criminals out of town, and we could do that if we stick together. Are you afraid of them? Why? I could take a banana stalk and run every one of these pot-bellied draft dodgers across Depot Hill. Get the hell out of here and get something to shoot with and come back as fast as you can.
That's so good.
Do you not fucking love this dude?
I was like, I'm ready to go.
This roll out the time machine, baby. We're on our way.
He didn't say go get your gun. He said go get something to shoot with.
Go get something to shoot with. You got an uncle with a fucking with a shotgun.
I was like, shit, okay. That's like go into the nearest hardware store if they sell rifles and fucking take one.
Go get your uncle's fucking 18 gauge with bird shot.
Right, whatever it is.
Oh my God.
Because the shit's going down.
Yeah. So
he just sounds like a guy who's like, and if you don't come back in time, I'm already going to be in there.
Yeah. I'm going to call you Yella forever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a guy who calls people Yella. What are you, Yella?
The kind of guy who spits when you walk past him if he didn't come back to the fight.
Oh, forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
So, until you're a little old man.
Yes.
And so like, Grandpa, why'd you spit?
80-something years old. That man's Yella. He never came back. He's Yella. I remember him.
Yeah, you keep on walking,
bastard.
boy.
So that speech works pretty damn well. We'll get into the numbers in a sec, but the, let's call it much larger than 30 men now, fighting bunch, heads through downtown to the jail. They get there around 9 p.m., and they see, through the jail windows, Paul Cantrell, Pat Mansfield, a guy named George Woods, who is the Speaker of the State House of Representatives, and also the Secretary of the McMinn County Election Commission, are inside the jail with 50-ish deputies, and they're rooting around the ballot boxes. Mm-hmm. That's what they see from outside, which, think about how fucking pissed off you are at this point. And you get to the jail and you see that.
They're doing exactly what you thought they were doing.
Yeah. So there are two problems that the GIs are acutely aware of. One is that George Woods can certify the election. And he's clearly in on the grift here, or at least we can assume so, since he's inside the jail with 3 fucking stolen ballot boxes. Problem two for the GIs is that they just broke a federal law. They just broke into a fucking National Guard armory and stole a fuck ton of guns. That is federal fucking law breaking on top of federal law breaking.
Fucking is what it is.
On top of federal law breaking, right? But yes, it is what it is. But they know that if they're going to win this, it needs to be now, tonight.
Yeah.
Because once backup comes, whatever form it comes in, they're going to probably all get arrested. So
burn down the jail.
They go across the street from the jail. I don't know if they break in or what, but they go into the bank across the street from the jail. It's 9 p.m. So unless somebody had a fucking key, I don't know. But they go into the bank across the street from the jail and they take up positions on the second floor, on the high ground, right? Mm-hmm. These are all soldiers fresh back from war.
Oh, so I would say they're probably not stomping through town. They're doing like maneuvers.
They know how to fight tactfully.
They're fucking
and the
like
jail.
They're all soldiers. Okay, so I was told this story one time about a guy I've mentioned on the podcast before, a guy named Brian Strange, who was a very PTSD veteran from the fucking Fallujah or some shit.
Yeah, you told. I can't remember when you talked about that.
Told me the story one time about how he had a barbecue with some of his boys from the old unit.
Yes,
right.
I think this is the story that you told.
Yeah, probably. But there's like a car that backfired, or like somebody was fucking super loud next door,
and everybody went straight into formation.
Immediately went into formation, and
back to back,
they
ready
all
to go.
pulled pistols, and they all did fucking quiet moves and started hand signaling and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's. I mean, I imagine that every single one of these guys is now like crouching with their weapons and fucking doing quiet street, but like urban combat.
They're fresh back from World War II. They know how to fight tactfully. Tactically, and also tactfully.
Tactfully.
Both. They know how to fight tactically, and the jail is full of fucking fat ass, in Bill White's words, draft dodgers that he could run up Depot Hill with a banana stalk. bunch
of yellow-bellied pig fuckers is what they are. All smoking cigars and fanning themselves with the ballots.
Yeah, so they are taking up tactical positions, and we're talking, now that we're getting into numbers, after Bill's speech, anywhere varying from several hundred to 2,000 men, depending on which references you want to listen to.
Just fucking surrounding.
They're not all at the bank. They're all sort of taking up positions around the town, but anywhere from several hundred to 2,000 armed World War II vets. So the group splits.
You suck. Fuck you.
The group splits up with some of them staying at the bank. Bill White takes some of them to the nearby post office. And I will never stop quoting this man. This is from a 2000 interview. Unfortunately, just a few years before he died. He died in 2006. He was 81 years old. And I read a decent amount of the transcript from this. It was so long. It was so like pages and pages and pages. It was a full, like, I don't even know how long the episode was. I tried to find audio on it, but I couldn't. So I literally just sat there and read. And then, I ran out of time because doing the notes and then having to be here to record, but it's such a good episode. But he does say Japs a lot. But he saw, like, reading through this episode, reading through this interview, he saw some horrific shit.
I will say, and listen, maybe this sounds terrible.
By the way, he gives the Japanese like one of the things in the interview, he's talking about when they first get to Guadalcanal. That was the first place he went. Straight stateside to Guadalcanal.
Goddamn.
He talks about the first battle that they had, his unit going back up, another unit that was battling with the Japanese. And he talks about walking up on the beach and seeing Marines that were shot right in the fucking middle of the forehead.
Goddamn.
And he was like, I'm walking up and I'm seeing these guys with bullet holes right in the center of their forehead. And we were told in boot camp that the Japs can't see good and they can't fight good because the squinty eyes.
Of course. Yeah.
And so, to his credit, he's looking around. And he's like, I realized quick.
Seems like they can see and fight good.
And he goes on to like talk about multiple battles where he was like, they were fucking fast and they were good shots and it was and they were brutal and they fought to the fucking death.
Yeah.
There's one battle that he went to and they were supposed to go back up a unit on a different island there in the South Pacific from this is all like Solomon Islands, right? Where Guadalcanal is. And they had to go to this other island to back up a unit that was fighting with the Japanese. And he said as they got there, as their boat's pulling up, the Japanese had dumped gas and oil in the water. And so as they saw the boat pulling up, they set fire to it so that there was just this wall of fire. And none of the boats that were there to back the unit that was fighting up, they all just had this wall of fire in front of them. And so they had to stand there and they're trying to take pot shots through the fire onto the beach while they're watching other Marines be like shot. And then suddenly like the Japanese are coming out with fucking sabers and just fucking slicing motherfuckers and skewering them. And some of the Japanese are firing on the boats and blah, blah, blah. And like he got up on the deck of the boat to try and take a position to fire on the Japanese on the beach. And, it ended up like the fire spread and the front of their boat started catching fire. So he was like, literally, he's like, we couldn't really do much other than watch. But, finally we had to get the hell out of there. And once we got safe, he said he looked down into the hull of the boat and I think there were like 6 or 8 men that the bullets from the Japanese had gone through the boat and killed like 6 or 8 men down in the hull of the boat. And he was like, and here I was out in the open trying to fire on them and I survived and I'm looking down and these guys who were safe in the hull of the boat are all dead.
Jesus Christ.
This dude.
That's brutal as fuck.
Yeah. So
can you imagine like getting through all of that kind of shit and then making it home and then this is the fight that you get remembered for?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
There are some things we're going to talk about that we might do for Bill White.
Yeah.
There's some things we could do.
I also did want to say that I know that it is an offensive term, but Jap is kind of a mild.
It's
pretty mild, right? It's
in
just
terms
an
of derogatory,
an abbreviation.
Yeah,
it's like the British calling the Germans Jerry's.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
I think Kraut's worse than Jerry, right?
As far as derogatory terms go, you could get worse.
The only way that Jerry's bad is if you say like fucking Jerry.
And you're talking about Seinfeld. So this is from that 2000 interview that I read a decent amount of, probably not even a quarter of it, but this is another Bill White quote. And I just love this dude, man. So he says, boys, I'm going to tell them to bring the ballot box out of there. And if they don't, we're going to open up on them. I hollered in there. I said, You damn thief grabbers, bring them damn ballot boxes out of there. That's just what I said. He didn't make a move down there, and finally one of them said, by God, I heard a bolt click. Down there, one of them grabbers did, you know? They started scattering around, and I had a pistol in my belt with a shotgun. I had a shotgun and a rifle, and I pulled the pistol out and started firing down there at them. Well, when I did that, all that whole line up there started firing down in there. A lot of them got in the jail. Some of them didn't. Some of them got shot laying outside, and the battle started. A lot of them got in there is referring to more deputies trying to get into the jail as reinforcements. So some of them got in there. Some of them got shot right out front.
Right.
These guys absolutely opened up on the front of the jail. Again, you've got 60 guys with rifles and bandoliers and 2 fucking Thompson machine guns, fully auto.
Not to mention another multiple hundreds.
Yeah.
Fucking a bunch of random shit.
all stationed around town, right? By the way, it still gets crazier. A lot of the deputies, and notably George Woods, who was the state speaker who could certify the election that was in there with Cantrell and Mansfield, they escape out the back door. George Woods, actually the election guy who escapes, he gets to the nearest phone and he calls another political boss that's in the E.H. Crump orbit, a guy named Birch Biggs.
Birch Biggs.
Biggs is the boss in next door Polk County, Tennessee, where he was also sheriff for years before joining this Crump political machine and getting into bigger politics stuff.
Yeah, corrupt pig fuckers, yes.
Right. So Woods gets him on the phone and is begging for Biggs to send guys to help beat the vets back and get the situation under control, i.e. help them steal an election.
Yeah.
Biggs responds, do you think I'm crazy? Meaning this situation has already made its way to the neighboring county.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're fucked, and if we touch this, we are also fucked.
He said, do you think I'm crazy?
Which, I mean, sincerely, though, if the news of this thing becomes bigger in that area, you're just looking at revolutionary action all across the board. Like, a battle like this would have to be contained in itself because that would spark a fucking nationwide madness.
We will get to that. Okay. There had to be a tamp down, and there was a tamp down. So I'm not entirely sure what time it is at this point. Like I said earlier, when the GIs got to the jail,
10:20.
Not here. I'm talking in the battle. In the Battle of Athens. When they got to the jail and they saw Cantrell and Mansfield and what was this guy's name? George Woods in there rifling around in the fucking ballot boxes. That was 9 p.m. So I'm sure some words were exchanged for a little bit before the shooting started. There's a stalemate for a while, and Bill White is making demands for the release of the ballot boxes every hour he's out there. And the cops are telling him, you know, shit like, come and get it. And they're like taunting him with bullshit. Like,
you just make up fucking.
They were taunting him with shit like, why don't you call the law? Right. As he's out there in the street, bring those fucking damn thief grabbers. He called them damn thief grabbers.
Thief grabbers.
I love it.
Just make up all kinds of Bill White shit.
Yeah.
Coming out here, you hogs.
But as the hours pass, rumors that the National Guard or the Tennessee State Troopers are coming, those rumors start being whispered among the vets, and they know it's tonight or never.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if Bill White doesn't have an absolute banger of a quote for us. He says, if it was worth going over there and risking your life, laying it down, it was worth it here too. So we decided to fight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This dude fucking rules. So they decide to start using Molotov cocktails.
Yep, that would have been my first choice, actually.
But the distance from, crossing the street from the bank to the jail, they can't get close to the jail without putting themselves in a position to be shot as well. There's still a solid amount of armed deputies inside the jail. So they're trying to throw these Molotovs, and they're getting some close, but the distance is just too far to get like a good, solid, like, got it in there, got it, right?
Now, are these standardized Molotovs? Like we talked about the equal mix of gasoline and motor oil.
I'm not entirely sure.
Capped with a cherry bomb.
I would assume so.
Or is this like, because these are armed.
These are seasoned veterans.
Yeah, because I mean, otherwise it could just be like bottle of moonshine and a rag, I suppose. But that's not usually quite as effective.
They learned about Molotov cocktails in World War II.
Yeah,
so they know.
Yeah,
they know what to do. So the Molotovs aren't quite cutting it. So naturally, at this point, someone suggests, "Hey, what about dynamite?"
Dynamite's good.
And everybody is like, fuck yeah.
Throws further too.
So some of the boys go off to get some dynamite. And during this time, while they're off getting dynamite to bring back, an ambulance comes charging down the fucking road and stops in front of the jail. Now, as war veterans, these guys know that's a pause, right?
Yeah.
That's a pause to get injured men off the battlefield. We've done our jobs. They're out of the fight. We pause. We hold the line, right? We hold the fire and let them pull anybody injured out because those are rules of engagement, right?
Yeah.
So they hold their fire. They're expecting someone to be carted out of the jail. And wouldn't you fucking know it? 2 men run out of the jail and jump into the ambulance, and it's Paul Cantrell and Pat Mansfield.
Oh, you cowardly yellow belly pig fuckers.
Bitch ass fucking Cantrell and Mansfield.
Man, fuck them old dumbass bitches.
Man, fuck them old dumbass bitches. So yeah, soft ass bitch boys. They're fucking leaving the field of battle like fucking pussies in an they used an ambulance as cover.
Thief grabbing so's and so's.
Damn thief grabbers. So there's nothing that they can really do about, these very manly, tough men leaving the field of battle.
They go fucking york each other's hogs.
But they can get the dynamite and
they still blow some shit up.
and yeah, they're like, okay, enough is enough. So they try a few volleys to see who can, if they can toss the dynamite closer to the jail, closer than they could get the Molotovs.
Right.
And they can't really get a whole lot more distance, but the difference between the overall damage from the Molotovs versus, fucking. Oh, by the way, they're taping 3 sticks of dynamite together and throwing the bundle.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, your AOE is going to be significantly larger than Molotov cocktails. By the way,
Age of Empires.
Yeah. if you're not a gamer, that's an area of effect.
Ah, okay.
Your area of effect, if you're not aware of that term.
I'm in Age of Empires too.
So, Jesus Christ. So,
the Age of Kings.
So, literally, the ones that don't make it all the way to the jail.
I had the Conquerors expansion.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The ones that don't make it all the way to the jail, there are police cruisers parked outside of the front of the jail. So, literally,
the shit still explodes.
They're literally blowing up and flipping fucking police cruisers that are parked in the road. There are photos online of cars upside down in the road, cars on their sides. In terms of sheer terror, if you're one of the cops still in the jail who's not even from this county, you just came for the $8.50 a day, baby. In terms of sheer terror, I would assume
Dynamite's pretty good.
By the way, after all 3 of your ringleaders have bailed on you, and now these guys just got back from insane war, and they're fucking chucking dynamite.
Sounds like you deserve every stick.
So, and you're watching the police cruisers just fucking fly and land upside down and shit. Oh boy. I mean, if you're one of those deputies, you better make a decision right then and there. If stealing an election for a couple of fucking soft boners that just ran away is worth the effort of trying not to be blown up.
Jesus Christ. What a couple of long balls,
Yeah. So Bill White, and we're getting close to the end of our Bill White quotes, which, I mean, I could keep going for fucking days.
God, I hope the last quote is, so we killed him.
No. Bill White realizes that they're going to have to get the dynamite closer. If they're going to get the job done with dynamite, we got to be able to get closer. So this is Bill White again. I said, we're going to have to get some charges up there on that jail. I said, make a couple charges there. We'll go down there and we'll place some charges. So I made up a couple charges and I crawled up and I put a charge on the jailhouse porch.
He just fucking army crawls.
So they make demolition charges. And Bill White crawls out and sets them around parts of the jail that he can get to. And they fucking blow the absolute shit out of Pat Mansfield's car, who Mansfield's gone anyway. So
fucking Mansfield.
He's gonna come back tomorrow and be like, oh, my car. Oh, my God. What the fuck? Because they left before the dynamite started.
Right.
So he's going to get back and see all these cars flipped upside down and on their side. And his car's fucking destroyed. And be like, what the fuck happened? And everybody who stayed behind is going to go, fuck you, pussy ass bitch. Because that's what I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in there in the first place, but.
Ain't no yellow bellied snakes in the grass.
So yeah, they blow up his car, which is fucking hysterical. They blow up the porch of the jail and they breach the front door of the jail. And the cops have no choice but to surrender at this point.
Yeah. because they're going to get massacred.
By the way, while all this is happening, like I said, there are anywhere from a few hundred to 2,000 war vets armed and strategically placed around Athens, and shit is popping the fuck off. Like, locals are marching in the streets. They're flipping and burning out fucking police cars. People are cornering and beating the shit out of the out-of-town deputies. It's fucking nuts, dude. By the way, strangely, the Athens deputies, they're not there. They're nowhere to be fucking found that night. So it's just the out-of-town. Oh, by the way, and the mayor just coincidentally chose to be out of town during the election as well.
Good day to be out of town.
Yeah. So the mayor is also a Cantrell man. But the boys get into the jail. They finally secure the ballot boxes. And we are going to get our final goodbye from Bill White in a quote during the aftermath of everything. He says, quote, "When the GIs broke into the jail, they found some of the tally sheets marked by the machine had been scored 15-1 for the Cantrell forces." So yeah, they were up to the same fucking shenanigans as before. And if you're the type of
15-1 just for those ones, as opposed to the 3-1s that were winning from the GIs.
So one ballot would have 15 tallies for Cantrell or whichever person was on his ticket. 15 on one ballot.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. By the way, if you're the type of person, because these people do exist, if you're the type of person who thinks that everything up to now was just circumstantial and you need hard evidence, when the actual votes are counted, Knox Henry had won by almost 2 times the number of votes that Cantrell got.
Yeah.
Because remember, Cantrell's running for sheriff again. Also, just as a little extra gristle in E.H. Crump's fuck burger, I'm pretty sure that all of the other GI-backed candidates won their respective races as well. For sure, 4 out of the 5 that they backed, but I think it may have been all 5. Mm. The mayor resigns within about a month of all these GI victories. He's basically the last man standing in the McMinn County political machine, like in the old guard. He's like the last man, so he fucking resigns immediately. Bill White is made a deputy temporarily while the changing of the guard is happening over at the sheriff's office. Did I say that was the last of Bill White's quotes? Because it wasn't. I lied. This is, though. He said, quote, "They put me in as a deputy because one of the reasons they put me in as deputies was to scare them GIs. They wanted me to control the GIs, which they did. They fired into them people's houses and everything else. And that was my job, to get out there and keep the GIs straight. And I did. I had 16 fights in one weekend, fighting GIs, keeping them from shooting them people's houses and beating up people. My fists got so sore I couldn't stick them in my pocket. If you fight them with your fists, they had respect for you. But you didn't use blackjacks or guns on them. If you did, they'd gang up on you and kill you." So, honestly, a lot of people at the time, nationwide, were concerned about GIs re-entering society. This was like a popular opinion all the way up to Eleanor Roosevelt, who expressed concerns about GIs needing to be regularly checked to make sure they didn't have, quote, violent tendencies.
Well, yeah, the original biker gangs were usually fucking, because motorcycles were really popular in Europe. Yeah. Like in the European campaigns. So
the Germans used them.
Germans use them all the time.
A lot.
So American GIs would come back and they'd already be versed in this particular vehicle. Yeah. Or they'd have like trained in England with them or something. So they'd get English motorcycles and fucking tour around. Yeah. And then you get like there's that movie, The Wild One.
That's when Royal Enfield motorcycles were real popular.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
like,
British.
The classic motorcycle movie, The Wild One, with Marlon Brando, where he's wearing fucking leather cap and like leather jacket and shit. Those guys are all World War II vets.
Yeah. So even Eleanor Roosevelt thought, hey, we need to check them regularly to make sure they don't have violent tendencies after coming home from years of brutal warfare. And Bill White, by the way, shared that same sentiment. Like, it took a while for shit to simmer down in McMinn County. That was just him saying he had to stop the GIs from going and firing into people's homes.
Yeah, you say 16 fights in one night?
16 fights in one weekend.
So he's specifically
against GIs.
So I just love the idea that like he shows up and he's like, "We're gonna fight," and they're like, "All right, Bill," because he's like, "You don't use a blackjack, you don't use a fucking pistol,
you don't use a gun,
because they'll murder you." But if you show up and you're like, "All right, we're gonna fight about this," they're like, "Let's do it."
Fists up. But it also shows, because I said earlier, this is a guy who doesn't mince words. This is a man of conviction, right? When the shit was done and the GIs kept, let's call it hooting and hollering, right? And wanting to go to all these Cantrell men houses and fucking fire through their fucking windows.
Right.
Bill White was like, no. We didn't do all this work for that bullshit.
He's a better man than I.
You know, but you know what I mean? Like, he's a man of conviction. Like, I fought for this to keep our freedom.
22 years old.
We won. They're out. We're in. The time, like if you're driving around shooting through people's windows, you're breaking the law now, and I'm a deputy now, and I don't care that you served. I don't care that you're a GI. You got to simmer the shit down. If not, fucking put them up.
It's interesting thinking about other ways that like GIs re-entered society after the war, because we talked about, and I think it was in the Black Dahlia episode, we talked about how a lot of the cops post World War II were fucking soldiers,
were ex-soldiers,
specifically because they were fucking fighting men, trained for violence, knew how to use guns. So the police forces countrywide started filling with former soldiers, and thus the level of violence from the police force started growing exponentially. Because they've been taught and trained and practically had experienced solving fucking disputes with killing someone. So
but yeah, so I mean, you know, the boys kept resorting to violence for much less consequential things than this Battle of Athens. That was a big part of the reason that the nonpartisan GI political league fizzled out pretty quickly. They didn't really accomplish a whole lot of change necessarily, which, I mean, honestly, that's fucking typical of politics. You know, even the bright-eyed, naive, you know, politician that's going to change the world, they get jaded and washed out pretty fucking immediately.
I would bet that
because they see how entrenched the fucking, you know, the corruption is.
I would bet that the future politicians of Athens, Tennessee, you know, maybe continued to be corrupt, but maybe a little less outspokenly so.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there were other Tennessee counties that used the Battle of Athens to promote sort of GI unity in taking down political corruption throughout the state, because this E.H. Crump machine is big. Right. It's statewide. To their credit, anytime that the nonpartisan GI political league received any correspondence from other GIs in other places around the country asking advice about potential political corruption in their respective hometowns, the GI league would advise them to avoid political violence.
Oh, so there was like a like a communication chain, like a
because it was still a political league for a while, and so other people, obviously this story goes nationwide. That network immediately,
the communication network, they could have called that the GI tract.
Stupid. But I mean, honestly, the stories of veteran perpetrated crimes didn't really disappear. Like, it was a big thing post World War II. Crimes being reported in newspapers and stuff about veteran crimes.
Yeah.
Perpetrated by veterans, right?
That is, it's the othering of even when that's not necessarily true, it's still a big fear on people's minds. Because think, you know, Daddy's been gone for a while. When he came home, he was different.
He was different, yeah.
And he hits Mommy.
And those Jesus. And he drinks a lot.
And he screams at night.
Yeah. But those stories didn't really disappear until the Associated Press and the Veterans Affairs Administration made a deal to stop using the word veteran when there was a crime perpetrated by a GI in the news stories. The Associated Press was like, okay, we'll stop saying veteran.
Yeah.
We'll just say a Tennessee man. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the story of the Battle of fucking Athens, dude.
That's pretty good.
That's Bill White. I could have done a whole episode just on Bill. I mean, it almost was a whole episode just on Bill White. But again, how often, and I'm going to get just very briefly, we try not to get political here, but this is coming out shortly after some shit went down in Tennessee in terms of suppressing votes. And it's just another example of like, sometimes these episodes just line up so perfectly with like current events. And it's almost like we have to keep saying, we plan these fucking episodes out like way in advance. And sometimes they just line up where it's like, oh shit. oh, that just happened? Okay. Well, we're doing this story about this thing that's real similar that happened a while back. And
That's a cool
this
story.
is how they dealt with it.
Trying to bring stuff like that into more contemporary norms is difficult.
Well,
I don't necessarily
things are different.
I don't necessarily think that it's a good idea to take up arms against a tyrannical local government, but it does seem like a good place to start. Hey, thanks everybody.
I mean, listen, I know a bunch of people that were milling about on January 6th of 2021 that would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
The problem is we live in a time where anybody with a fucking YouTube channel and a microphone can put whatever the fuck they want on the internet.
Fucking dickhead podcasters.
And people don't necessarily double check, other sources. They just listen to this one and they go, yeah. And then you have shit like that. So, I mean, that sort of goes back to my whole, like, violence is never the answer. Sometimes it is. Violence begets violence? Yes, absolutely so.
But, I mean, interestingly enough, violence also begets peace.
Sometimes.
So
for a time.
I mean, look at Normandy, France.
They haven't had shit pop off since...
it's been quiet over there for a while.
Yeah, fucking 80 years, baby. That's our episode. So signing off for myself, Riley, Drew, and Bill White. This has been another episode of Delete Everything Podcast. And if you like this story, the best way to tell us is please get on whatever you're listening to. Leave us 5 stars, whatever platform you're on. If it allows you to, give us 5 stars. If you're on Apple Podcasts, just take a quick minute. Give us a 5-star review and a 5-star rating and leave us a quick little review. It doesn't need to be wordy. It doesn't need to be flattering. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to make us feel better or worse. We are who we are, man. We're old. We're not going to change. If you're on Spotify.
Whoa.
What?
I'm capable of growth.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to pressure them. I don't want them to feel pressure.
I mean, I don't want to change because somebody fucking. If you tell me to change, I'm not gonna fucking do that. Fuck you. No way.
You know what? If you're leaving a review on Apple Podcast, tell us your favorite thing about Bill White. If you're on Spotify, leave us a comment on this episode. You could just go to your fucking screen and scroll down, and you can add a comment. Tell us your favorite thing about Bill White, and we will. I don't know. I was texting Riley Andrew while I was doing the research for this. And I legitimately said, and Riley will corroborate this story, if I had the time and the money, I would go find his surviving family members and do a whole documentary about like any stories they had about their dad, grandfather, brother, whatever family members I find. Just who was this guy? Like, and I almost want to find something that's like, oh, damn it. Like just to round him out as a person. You know what I mean? Because right now, he is one of the fucking coolest motherfuckers that I've ever like done any research on. Like he's just, I can't find anything bad about him as of yet. And that's unrealistic.
Let's just print the legend
it's
on
unrealistic.
This one.
You know what I mean?
But it's fine. Print the legend. It's fine. People need heroes.
Listen, but I need a never meet your heroes moment.
We don't need to fucking live in the concept. The fucking.
Say it all the time.
I like the Superman movie where he's kind of silly. We
say it all the time. People contain multitudes. People are complicated. There are
contain
layers.
Multitudes.
I do.
Your butt.
What?
Multitudes.
Heyo.
Gay.
Anyway. Also, find us at Delete Everything Podcast on Instagram, Delete Everything Podcast on YouTube, and patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast, where you will get 80-something episodes of, I don't know, craziness. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
What the fuck did you just say to me?